Good morning, sports fans from all around the globe. I am your host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and this is your breakfast bankroll for Tuesday, February 15th, 2022. We're already halfway through the month of February. Actually, yeah, we're halfway through. It's amazing how quick these days and months fly by. Um, Hope everyone survived Valentine's Day, your Super Bowl hangover, or whatever it was. Good day here at ECSI. For anyone that watched us in the afternoon with Mr. Dave Sharapan, I did not, I repeat, I did not shoot over a 700 last night in league play. First game, I had 10 strikes, one 7-10 split, and one gutter ball on a two strike in the third frame. It was kind of crazy. Just didn't get it done. That's all. Didn't get it done. The ECSI VIP crew, 1-1-1. And if you go back on my timeline, you're going to see a heated me for a few seconds. We had Georgetown plus 11, and they were down 6 with less than 2 minutes to go. And then originally got outscored 8-2, but there was a correction in the score, got outscored 7-2. So they lose by 11. We pushed there. Went back to the well with URI on Saturday. They went box to wire against Dayton. Same everything, same blueprint, same everything against Dayton. And I could tell we were in for a battle early there. Long story short, URI +2 comes up short. They lose by 5. And then the nightcap, we had the Leafs minus a goal and a half, plus $100 at the Kraken, and they win 6-2. Big board today, and there's some great college games. I think the marquee game, the real eye opener for me to start, Villanova is at Providence. Talk till I'm blue in the face to anyone that wants to listen. This Providence team has not got the respect all year. Are currently in first in the Big East and hosting Villanova, who's banged up, and they'll be playing each other again in about a week. But Vegas has made a statement. Villanova is -4.5 at Providence, which I'd be going to that game if I was not heading to stores tomorrow for UConn versus Seton Hall. But without further ado, let's bring in my co-host, someone that could send some damn heat back east here. It's only 9 degrees on Cape Cod right now. Are you kidding me? Did I say I have 28 days till I'm in Vegas? If I didn't, I just did. So without further ado, my co-host, my partner in crime, the one, the only, Mr. Scott E. Webb. Morning, Scott.
Morning, Jeff. And sporting a new hat today. Got the Major League hat on movie Major League. That was my Valentine's Day gift from my wife, by the way. That's a pretty good gift.
I think, with a couple more lids, we're going to have to call you Dave Sharapan Part 2 here. Keeping up with the lids. I love the lids. I'm a lid guy. And, anything to bring baseball in a little sooner. Again, have no idea. We're left out into the dark. This is usually my time right after the Super Bowl. I get my MLB network, which I have, but I'm just saying I'm locked in. I warm up with that from 10 to 1 in the morning. Then I get my buddy Chris Mad Dog Russo coming in with some high heat and from 1 to 2. But it is what it is. How are you today?
I am well. We had a cold night, Jeff. I mean, it was, I don't know. I mean, for me, I got to wear a coat. It was 40 degrees here last night, so that's cold. But I will say this, it's going to be 77 today. So there's some heat for you.
40 degrees. Yeah, I know. I'd probably have to turn the AC on at this point. I mean,
I turned the heater on last night.
Big board today. It's a board where Ken Palm's top 10 games for me are all 1 and 2 point games. There's some, I talked about it. There's some hell of matchups. Let me go back over there for 1 second. Got Kentucky at Tennessee, got Texas at Oklahoma. We talked about Villanova at Providence. Wisconsin coming off a tough loss at home to Rutgers at Indiana. The Jekyll and Hyde team of 2022, Memphis at Cincy. Michigan State, Izzo's Army has, let's just say, hasn't come to fight and battle like we expected them. They're at Penn State, Iowa State at TCU, Utah State at San Diego State, another Jekyll and Hyde team, Florida at A&M, and Clemson at Florida State. And we round up number 11, Wake Forest at Duke. And this Wake Forest team, you talk about no respect here. This Wake Forest team is 10-5, 20-6 overall, coming off a loss to Miami, facing a Duke team that, it's Krzyzewski's last run. We're expecting him. I would have to say he's got to get through the first weekend to that Sweet 16, and then he'll have the cameras on him there. But they quietly 21-4, 11-3 in conference. But Ken Palm and Vegas think it's a roll. It's Duke by 11 tonight. And this, I will be honest with you, this Wake Forest team has probably gotten me 5 times. And let's just say I won't be going to that window today.
I don't blame you for that. I gave out what I gave. I gave out under 232 in Portland, Milwaukee yesterday. So that one came in nice and good winner. Milwaukee did not even win the game. And the philosophy was that Portland probably was going to get right around 100, and then it was going to be how are they going to get, they'd have to score 130 some more points to get to the number. Well, kind of worked opposite. Portland scored, I think, 115 points, and Milwaukee barely scored 100 points last night. So, it was a damn NBA, right? So, didn't matter. That game, when I bet it, and we were on the show, and I gave it out at 232, it went off at 225. So if you actually played it at 225 and under 225, you lost. So that kind of goes to show a little bit about you got to know where the number is. And I think if we go back and look at the tape, I think I said 230 was the number that I didn't want to go any lower than that. And then we talked about OKC +8 yesterday, and we talked about the Clippers +6.5, which I actually played. But we didn't do a closing bell show. Dave was on. So it was one of those deals where I wasn't able to get those in. So I actually went 3-0 yesterday. So it's a pretty good day. Numbers wise were they were hit. They were on yesterday. So I'm hoping the numbers are on good today because there's a couple of games that I like. And there's a couple of good games in the NBA. I mean, Boston plays at Philadelphia. That's a pretty good game. It's kind of interesting. Boston's an away favorite in that game. And people are betting on them. So it started, I think, -1.5, something like that, -1 maybe. And I think it's up to 2.5, and in some places 3 now for Boston. My number was 107, 104. Boston wins. I got on Boston winning by 3. So there's that number is pretty solid to me. So I'm not playing there, but I am playing the next game. That's Dallas is playing in Miami, and I'm taking Miami. I got them at 3.5. Now I don't think they're still 3.5. Yeah, they're still 3.5. I got them 3.5. My numbers tell me that they should be about 6 or 6.5. And what I liked here too was that Dallas struggles when they go play in Miami for whatever reason. In the last 13 times they played them, they're 3-9-1 against the spread. That's not very good. And in Miami, they're 1-4-1 in the last 6 times they played. So I kind of like the idea that Miami is good here. Plus, Miami has a 2-day rest advantage. And when they are off of 2 days of rest, they are 9-0 straight up and 7-2 against the number. So I'm pretty good with this Miami team tonight against Dallas. Giannis is not playing tonight for Milwaukee, or let's put it this way. One report I'm showing he's not playing. Another one I'm showing is 50-50 game time decision. They're playing in Indianapolis. It's a back-to-back night. They can probably beat Indianapolis without Giannis. But I'm not going to go touching that game. Cleveland, Atlanta is an interesting game. Cleveland being an away favorite. I think the numbers moving in that game in the right direction. Well, it says opened 1.5. I showed it at 2 earlier this morning. I think Atlanta's a pretty good value there, but I'm not going to touch that one just because Atlanta hasn't been playing that great. But I am playing another one. This one's Memphis and New Orleans, and I'm going to ride with Memphis tonight. What's his name? The guard, whatever his name is a questionable spot.
Ja Morant.
Yeah, Morant. Yeah, he's questionable in the game, but my number says 8.5, and this is 3.5 was at open, and I think it's been bet up to 4 and 4.5 at most places already. I would not go higher than 4.5 than where it's already at. And what I've noticed is that a lot of these games, if you wait, they come back to you a little bit. So I would expect that this game could come back to 4, somewhere in that neighborhood. I played it at 3.5. I think 4 is fine. I think 4.5 is okay. I wouldn't go any higher than that. Memphis actually doesn't play real well in New Orleans, but New Orleans is off. This is their 3rd game in 4 nights, and Memphis is off of 2 days of rest. And this is a good spot for them to come in. It's actually a back-to-back night for New Orleans. New Orleans won last night as a dog against Toronto, and they've been playing pretty well. But if you go back and look at it over the last 2 weeks, the number 2 team against the spread is Memphis. They've been beating the spread over the last 2 weeks by 10 points, and that's pretty good. So I'm going to ride with Memphis minus the 3.5. And the only other game I got on here to actually look at for later is that Charlotte Minnesota game, and I like Minnesota in the game, but I'm not going to play it because the numbers are pretty close. But I've got the score coming out to 113, 117, and the team total for Charlotte is 118.5. So I'm going to think about playing that one under, even though this is a 243-point game total, and I think it's being bet up. It might be 245 by now.
Well, I have to say on Friday, we jumped on that 241, and it was 61-60 at half, so I thought that was kind of comical. Actually, it wasn't pacing well in the first quarter, sped up in the second quarter. I think that was Minnesota at Chicago, and then second half just took off. So that's a green light again. I know we're getting closer to the All-Star break, and then the second half push to the playoffs, but you're going to give me the green light on a 244. It did go to 243.5 at Circa, so the Sharps hit the under overnight, but we got 244 at Westgate, 244 in the hook with our friends at South Point. Good morning, Chris and Jimmy and the Veasan crew. But that would definitely be probably a green light for us to take that over, Scott.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at it and just got it on the board to kind of look at. But those are my 2 plays today: Miami minus the 3.5. And Memphis, well, I guess you got to pay 4 or 4.5 now, but I paid 3.5, but 4 is fine. 4.5 is fine.
College, as I said, there's some amazing games. Make sure everyone listening here turns on their notifications for 4:30 Eastern time. Myself and Scott will be back for the closing bell. A board this deep, you want to be able to. It's like a slow cook, when you threw the ribs or the brisket into your slow cooker. You wanted to what do you call it? Smoke it for 10, 11, 12 hours. That's what kind of board it is today for me in college hoops. There's a lot of marquee games. There's a lot of toss-ups. So let's see where the public goes today, and it will give us some time to let these games marinate. So again, everyone at 4:30, myself and Scott will be back, obviously, with the closing bell. Tomorrow, I just want to give everyone a heads up for tomorrow. And this will actually, I was going to wait to tell Scott till the show was over. But Scott, you get the morning off. tomorrow morning. Andrew McGinnis from Wager Talk from McGinnis Picks will be with us at 10 a.m. as I moved him in early because I'll be heading up to stores after the show, getting myself set up for a live remote from Gamble Arena as UConn will be hosting Seton Hall, but myself and Scott will be doing the live remote. Well, Scott will be in Florida. I'll be freezing my tail off in stores, but we'll be doing the closing bell from stores again at 4:30. So, Scott, a little nice. You got the morning off. I'd say sleep in, but when we get to this certain age, we can never sleep in anymore.
No, my my wife came home a little early from work yesterday, and she's like, I think I'm getting sick. So I said, you go up in that room up there, and you stay over there and stay away from me. And she was up there all night, and she decided she wasn't going to go to work today, even though she didn't feel as bad as yesterday. And she's down on the couch sleeping down there. So I'm like, I could stay in my office and not be bothered by nobody for hours upon hours and do all this work and do all this stuff. And look, man, it's good to go.
Well, let's see what this board's telling us. There's a couple 6 o'clock starts. There's a 6:30 start to get you to 7. None of those are really. Well, I'll go to the 6:30 game. Rotation number 605, 606. Michigan State travels to Penn State. Michigan State opens up at 2.5. I'm showing they're receiving 70% of the bets, 65% of the money. That line has not moved. So there's currently a line freeze on Michigan State.
Well, this is the heaviest bet game on the college board with Kentucky and Tennessee. Both of them show $20,000 bet on it already. And this is showing 79% of the money and 77% of the tickets on Michigan State.
Yeah, so Penn State, keep an eye on them. We'll be back at 4:30 to talk about this game, obviously. But definite line freeze on the Nittany Lions. 7 o'clock tip-off, rotation number 607, 608, Memphis at Cincinnati. This Memphis team has been chastised. I'll be one of them that they've been the most inconsistent, probably one of the biggest letdowns teams of all year. Penny's got some good recruits. He's complained because they're banged up and hurt. He's complained because these kids are all freshmen. They're 17, 18, 19 years old. They're playing against men of 22 and 23 years old. So there's a lot of games that they've gotten their ass spanked. There's been some games that they've decided to show up and they blow the team out by 20. This past weekend was a prime example. And this is why, I can't stand when people whine. I love the saying, we're like tea bags. We only get moving when we're in hot water. Okay. So Penny's been taking a lot of criticism. So what do? They're 10-point underdogs at Houston, who hadn't lost at home in a bazillion games, and they go box to wire and beat Houston outright. So today, now they come into Cincinnati, and this Bearcat team is not the Bearcat team of old. Memphis opens up -3. I'm showing them they're getting 52% of the bets and 63% of the money, Scott.
Yeah, I'm showing different here. This is showing that it's $11,000 bet on the game, so that's not too bad. 74% of the money and 53% of the tickets on Cincinnati.
And the line stuck at 3, so a little line freeze and lean Memphis here. I'm 99.9 will not be diving into that game. I can't stand betting Jekyll and Hyde teams. It just ends up biting you. If you take Memphis today, the first flash you'll see is 10-2 Cincinnati. If you take Cincinnati, the first flash you'll see is Memphis 15-1. So thanks, but no thanks there. This I got to talk about. Rotation number 613, 614, as you talked about in the NBA with a total at 244. I got to talk about this game. The Buffalo travels to Bowling Green. They opened up 5.5-point favorites, now 5. An under-over that opened at 163. 163. So they're telling you Buffalo's going to get at least 85 points today. Basically, 84, 83. The 5. So, yeah, they're saying 85. 84 60 something. Yeah, 84-69, something crazy like that. What's the numbers look like right now in that game?
Well, there's only $2,300 bet on it. So I don't have any totals numbers yet. I got 53% of the money, 50% of the tickets on Buffalo.
Well, I would say anyone listening here right now, you might want to, because this line's climbing. You might want to grab the over right now in this game. It's I got it as high as 165 on Bet Online. It opened at 163. I jump in a little pizza and beer or whatever you'd like to do to start your morning. I'd lock it in now. 164 across the Vegas Strip. So take the over there or whatever you want to do with it. But I would definitely be leaning the over there. Rotation number 615, 616, Texas at Oklahoma. Texas opens up 1.5, now 1. I'm showing now 59% of the bets, 84% of the money in on Oklahoma.
This is $11,000, 68% of the money and 65% of the tickets on Texas.
Okay. Let's see. Oh no, actually no, I'll screw up board up. I was going to see if they had played. I'll go back to that at the closing bell. Rotation number 625, 626, Florida at A&M. A&M opened up -1, still -1, yet Florida is receiving 64% of the bets, 65% of the money.
Well, this is only showing $1,300 bet so far, so that's not very much. 60% of that in money and 56% of the tickets on Texas A&M.
All right. So, I mean, again, there's no money on that yet, but keep an eye on that one. Rotation number 627, 628, Wake Forest at Duke. Duke opened up at 11, now 10 or 10.5, 74% of the bets, 67% of the money, all on the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest.
Yeah, this has got 14,000, so at least it's got some trend here we can look at. But 54% of the money is on Duke, 59% of the tickets on Wake Forest.
The most beautiful camp. I went to both of those campuses 5 years ago. Actually, it was 6 years ago now with my daughter. We did the tour. We did the loop. We flew down there. We went to Duke, North Carolina, and Wake Forest. Listen, Duke was beautiful. I did not like UNC. I was not impressed there. I just fell in love. Listen, I haven't been to that place in 6 years. I just fell in love with that campus. It was the most beautiful campus, set back, so quiet. I can't say enough about this. But this line here, I just want to let everyone know, the odds makers did exactly what they wanted to do. If Duke was favored by 5, 6, 7, they would be getting all the Duke money. I mean, all the Duke money. They opened it up at 11 for a reason. They got to figure a way to attract some Wake Forest money, and that's what they've done so far. This Wake Forest team, ask the ECSI VIP crew. They have kicked us in the you-know-what numerous times. I'm not stepping in front of this train. I'm not. But I will tell you this. I will not be shocked to see Duke win by 15 tonight, but I'm staying away for now. Clemson at Florida State, rotation number 629, 630. Florida State opened up at 1.5, now 1-point favorites at circa 1.5 across the Vegas Strip. 60% of the bets, 74% of the money on Florida State. But it's circa the Sharps hit Clemson. Both teams own us. The ACC is real down this year, guys. I'll go on record right here. The ACC will not be cutting the nets down on the first Monday of April. You can book that one unless Coach K gets a magical run and it's a Hollywood ending and they just get hot and they sheet this thing. They won't have my backing, but two teams here that thanks but no thanks. What are you showing for numbers, Scott?
Only $2,000 bet so far, so very, very light traffic. 69% of the money on Clemson, 57% of the tickets on Florida State.
Yeah, this Florida State team, another Jekyll and Hyde team. We've cashed a couple tickets, but they've got us a few times. Clemson's been our kryptonite for a long, long time. Same thing. Take them, they get killed. Go against them, and they win. So thanks, but no thanks there. Mid-major here. If you haven't heard of this team, again, I'm not telling you guys this is a top 10, 20, 30, even 40 team. This team, though's got some, you know what? They've been grinding and they've done very well for us here. Rotation number 635, 636, Bradley at Southern Illinois. It's a pick 'em. It's -1 at DraftKings. This Bradley team just finds a way. Ask Colton. Every time they keep winning, I give him a little, you know what? And he's facing his team, the Southern Illinois. I think they're the Salukis. I think they are. But it opened at a pick. They want some Southern Illinois money, but keep an eye on Bradley there. Do you have any? I bet you there's not even $1,000 on that game yet.
$334, Jeff.
We'll just leave that at that. Now, one of the marquee games, actually, I think the game of the night here, rotation number 637, 638, 8 p.m. start. Villanova travels from Providence. If my memory serves me correct, Nova is one game back behind Providence. So if they win today and then they play a week later, they win again, they will win the regular season Big East. A number that opened up at 4.5, guys. 74% of the bets, 59% of the money rolling in on Providence. Westgate and John Murray has dropped it to 4. Everyone else has kept it to 4.5. Like I said in the Duke game, I'm going to say again, guys, if Providence was a pick 'em, if Providence was +1, if Providence was +1.5, opening line, I'd be nervous. Villanova's opened up at 4.5 for a reason. They need some Providence money. They've got a little of it at Westgate. What are your numbers showing?
Well, it's got $13,000 bet on it, and 89% of the money, 78% of the tickets on Providence.
Again, Vegas has done what they wanted. You watch this game early, you'll get a feel for it. No disrespect to Ed Cooley and his crew. They have been monsters. I talked about it on our show Saturday. I talked to Billy about this on Saturday, and whoever wanted to listen, DePaul was catching 10 at Providence on Saturday. When they played earlier in the year, it was a pick 'em, and Providence won at DePaul by like 30. And then this one was 10. I thought it was the trap of all trap games, especially with Villanova coming in on Tuesday. And DePaul was winning that game, the whole game outright. And Providence made a late run, got it to overtime, and won by 6. They didn't cover the game. So, listen, I don't think I'll be diving in here. If I was, I have to respect Vegas in the opening number. No disrespect, Ed, but I would lean Villanova here on that one. See if I see anything else for the guys. Rotation number 659, 660. The second game of the night, Kentucky at Tennessee. This cat team is rolling. Tennessee has been one of those Jekyll and Hyde teams. 9 p.m. tip-off. Tennessee opened up at 1-point favorite, now 1.5-point favorites. They're showing 56% of the money, 56% of the bets, 79% of the money coming in on the Wildcats of Kentucky.
Yeah, this is we talked about it a little earlier, one of the heavier bet games so far. $21,000 on this game, 76% of the money, 72% of the tickets on Kentucky.
The Vols, another Jekyll and Hyde team. I don't know what to tell you. They've had some brain farts, a lot of first half slow starts. They are as athletic as anyone. A tough place to play, but Calipari's got the boys rolling now. I mean, that opening number is kind of intriguing to me because I think it's an opening number that they're trying to entice some Kentucky money. I could see Tennessee getting out early. If I was today, right now, this second, I might lean Tennessee first half. Hopefully they get out early. The crowd's into it. And then I think Kentucky might wear them down. But this game will be definitely interesting to follow throughout the day there. Quickly see if there's any hockey games that hit us off the snap here. Little Rotation number 19 and 20, 8:05 start. Washington and Nashville showing here. Nashville opened at 140, now 129. A little money overnight trickled in and on the Capitals.
Yeah, this shows again $3,000 on this game, and for the hockey, it's one of the lowest bet games so far of the day. But 57% of the money is on Washington, and 56% of the tickets on Nashville.
Okay. And I'm mad at myself right now. I just looked at the final. The other hockey game I had last night would have cashed at a plus 160. The Edmonton Oilers puck line. I wasn't going to get into the high price money line, which really wasn't that bad. I think they went off at around 150, 155. And they won 3-0. I talk about this, especially in hockey. New coach, the firing of Edmonton's coach last week. Hockey teams, especially, you usually do this in all the sports, but hockey teams seem like they get on this magical run. And now Edmonton 2-0 with the new coach. They won last night in LA 3-0. This is the game that I would talk about right now. Edmonton at LA. The back-to-backs doesn't matter. Edmonton opened up minus 140. I'm sorry. The Kings opened up minus 140, now minus 113. The Oilers go from plus 120 to plus 103. Any numbers on that one, Scott?
I am getting there. That is 2,200. You're talking about the 25-26, right?
Yes, please.
Yeah, it's the lowest one on the board. $2,300 bet so far. 78% of the money, 70% of the tickets on Edmonton.
All right, so guys that are watching and listening, I usually don't say this in the morning because I want to see how things go. My gut will tell me this will flip. I would be leaning Oilers plus the 103 there. I talked about in college that one Buffalo Bowling Green jump on the over there. And Jesus, I'm not a total guy. Trust me, anyone here knows that. But obviously, you might want to sprinkle something on the over Charlotte, Minnesota. You can get it at 243.5 at circa 244. Just leans, pizza and beer money to establish yourself till myself and Scotty come back for the closing bell. I mean, when I say pizza and beer money, it's up to you. If you're a dollar player, you want to put a quarter on these, God bless you. It's not going to kill you. But again, it's a big board. It's going to be a fun board to watch over the afternoon for sure. Scotty, closing thoughts?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to do some more baseball stuff. I keep saying that, but more getting into the research and looking at stuff and getting the juices flowing. So I'll probably be spending most of my day today on the baseball front, just typing up articles so I can get this book ready. And again, I'm not getting any requests from anybody for anything, so I'll just be putting in what I think people want to see and what they want to read. And a lot of times that's a lot. So like I said, I got 27, 28 articles to write over here, and then I'll pick and choose which ones go in.
I can't wait. I'm excited for college hoops. This is our time to shine. Well overdue to get back to that 2017 form where we rattled off that 30-2 run. The game has changed, meaning information. I think a lot of these spreadsheets, a lot of these companies have gotten cute. You can read, you can feel it in your gut, what smells, what stinks, what's false. And you got to add your little repertoire into a lot of this stuff. But because of the apps, I mean, people that never leave their house. I mean, imagine this: you never leave your house, yet you can bet, you can wire for the Super Bowl. Never leave your house. Reach out to Derek at Circa, and you could wire $1 million bet on the Super Bowl. I mean, what has the world come
to? It makes it easy, right? I mean, I remember when I was going to the grocery store and happened to go up to the customer service counter and go, hey, I need a Western Union thing, and I had to fill out a Western Union thing to some bogus name and put on how much money I was sending to them, and then I sent it to them with a reference number. And then I had to go call the offshore account people, and I had to call them on the phone and go, hey, here's my reference number, blah blah blah, and then they go looking for it. Oh, there it is, and then it's in my account, and I'm going, I can bet. And then to make bets, I had to get on the phone and call them and go, hey, I want to put this money on this and put this money on that. In today's world, it's way more simple. And I kind of like it that way. Now, again, technology is good for some things and not for others. But the ease of actually making these wagers is pretty simple these days. And if you're in a state where it's legal and you have legalized apps, oh my God, they hook right up to your checking account. You want to take money out, drop right in my checking account. You want to deposit, right out of my checking account. So you can have your money, take your girl out, do whatever, and go celebrate your win. I think that's what's awesome about that stuff.
Crazy world that we live in, and it's only going to get crazier. So for myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Investor, from Scotty Webb at Webby20MLB on the Twitter. We'd like to thank everyone watching and listening. If you're feeling froggy, a little retweet here and there of our show. It's like tipping the dealer at the casino. Run on over to YouTube at East Coast Sports Investors. Subscribe. It's free. Hit the like button. Smash the like button. How's that sound? And you can run over and do that at Twitch. Always, always, always remember this. If you are wagering today, wager responsibly. Enjoy these games. Have some fun with it. If you do have a problem, pick up the phone. There is an 800 number available. Myself and Scott want you here today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, the year after that. But if you have that problem, ask for help, will you? It's simple. We want to see you get over your skis. We don't want to see you get out of your lanes. We want you to have some fun here. That's what it's all about. Listen, if you're on the edge, if you're yelling, screaming, throwing remotes after every missed field goal, after every missed free throw, walk-off three, or when it comes to Scott's season and my season in baseball, the walk-off homer, the passed ball, the list is endless. And I tell you what, I'm smiling ear to ear, but for some reason, those late inning baseball games, they just stick with you a lot longer than a missed three or a missed free throw, Scott.
Hey, the lost ball in the sun, the outfielder runs over to catch the ball. And, oh my God, he can't see it. It almost hits him and almost kills him with a ball flying in the air. And then there goes the runners running around the bases. And then there goes your money out the window.
And for you to say something like that, you live in the worst stadium ever created. So how many balls get caught up in that damn catwalk and all that? I mean, please, can you get that new damn stadium going?
It's complicated, and I'm not going to get into all that. But it's where the stadium is for me to get to it. It's really easy. But forget to it, like if I lived where my dad does, he lives on the north side of Tampa. It's a lot harder. So the problem is that the people who live in Tampa don't really go to St. Petersburg to go to these games. So the people who live in the southern part go to the games, and the people who are in the northern part don't. But the people who are in the northern part are the mass of the people in Tampa. So they're trying to find a facility and a place and build a place, but they're locked into this agreement with these people in St. Petersburg for a certain length of time. And there's all kinds of weird stuff. I mean, they have done all kinds of research and studies and all this stuff to try to make this happen. I just stay out of it and go, okay, if you're going to build a stadium, build a stadium. If you're going to move the team, move the team. But I go to the games. I still have fun.
Myself and Scott will be back at 4:30. Turn on those notifications. Big board ahead. You guys got some lanes from Scotty already. You got 3 lanes from me, which is unheard of already. But we'll be back to backtrack all those, tell you what the board says. But until then, Enjoy your brunch. It's almost lunchtime, and we'll see you in about 4.5 hours. Da-dum-dum. Good afternoon. Actually, good morning to Marty Lowe, too. Our good guy from Alabama. Roll Tide, a Patriot fan. And yes, Marty, it even heard it again today. Adam Gase, offensive coordinator for the New England Patriots. It isn't official, but a little birdie kind of sort of told me something, but we'll see. So we'll see everyone back at 4:30. Have a day, and we'll see you soon.